Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative Chavez-Reimer. I enjoyed our conversation last week and appreciate your enthusiasm. I thought I'd start with just a quick answer, a quick question, that if you track the shrinking of the middle class, which we've seen in this country over about the last 60 years, I think it's safe to say, it almost exactly tracks the reductions in unionized labor in terms of as a percentage of the workforce. They track almost perfectly. Do you agree that we want to get more workers in unions as a method to expand the middle class? Is that a worthy goal?
Well, I think the goal is the option. If people choose to organize, they should have a free and fair right to organize. And if they choose not to, they should also have that right.
But don't we want to have more? Isn't the country better off with more working people getting paid better wages? And really, the only way that generally happens is through union representation.
Well, again, supportive of both sides of the table is going to be important. If an employee chooses that they want to be in a union, or they have the right to do so. And the same if they choose not to. It was just mentioned on the other side about, what does it look like for the franchise model or the independent contractor model. So I think the flexibility and the conversation is what's key here. And is there room for both? I believe there is. The president certainly believes there is, because this is the new direction of where oftentimes we've had the extremes arguing. If we keep the American worker first and foremost, we're going to come to the center of that table and I think develop exactly what you're talking about, keeping more of their hard-earned dollars.
I appreciate that. And again, the ultimate goal, we want to expand the middle class. I appreciate your small business background as a small business person myself in a past life. I think that will be invaluable. We met last week with some of the leadership from the Cherry Creek School District in South Metro Denver, one of many that has innovative apprenticeship systems they put in place, and they're training teachers, HVAC technicians, engineers, aerospace manufacturers, go down to the healthcare workers of various sorts. And this is just one of many programs we've got in Colorado. Now, the president's proposed funding freezes are going to prevent us from keeping many of these programs running in our state, and I think taking valuable opportunities away from the kids. How can you, as secretary, assuming you get approved, how can you protect these programs against attempts to unilaterally, and I think in some cases unlawfully, claw back the federal funding from these programs?
Well, I think the key here is going to be presenting to the president, again, I mentioned visiting and understanding exactly what's happening in Colorado and all the respective states, and presenting to the president as his advisor what's happening on the ground. That's what he wants to see, a candid, clear, concise picture so that as we move forward in the America First agenda, that we're going to be supporting the American worker. That is first and foremost in his agenda. We're aligned in that. That's the conversation that we had, is he wants to support the American worker. And so I will present to him the clear facts from all of the respective states.
Okay. Back to youth apprenticeships, which, as you know, my last 6 years as governor, that's what I spent a lot of time on. And I look at it as one of the great gaps that 65 to 70% of our kids aren't going to get a four-year degree. And we have done a piss poor job of giving them the tools to acquire the skills necessary to have the American dream. Is there ways that we can look at to expand apprenticeship programs, youth apprenticeship programs? So I'm not just talking about 18 and over. I'm talking about 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids who could want to work in an accounting firm or an advanced manufacturing or a hospital, whatever. How can you see us expanding that through your tenure at the Department of Education?
Well, I think we can certainly agree that, and you heard the conversation about speaking to even our youngest, our junior high, our middle school kids, all the way up into high school. But I would like to work with your office and, as if confirmed, get into the Department of Labor, really expand and explore what can be done. But if I could work with your office specifically on this and get to know it a little bit better, I would like to have that conversation with you.
No, I will take that and we'll follow up on that. We'll get you out to Colorado. A lot of the records, on February 5th, DOJ went to the Department of Labor and demanded that certain federal employees' information be released. And I think there's a lot of retirement account, private information. We haven't seen I haven't seen any disclosure of how those records are going to be used. And I think what are the reassurances that the American people have that those are still safely secure?
Well, I haven't seen them either, because I have not been confirmed, as you all know. I have not been read in onto what is happening with DOJ in the Department of Labor, but if confirmed, that'll be the first thing I do, is make sure that I'm briefed on it and made aware of everything that's happening. So I don't have that answer for you, because I don't know what's been happening either.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.